Granger, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in a beautiful town of Dorchester, Ontario, Canada, and I'm excited to be with you guys tonight. Today is Wednesday, August 26th, if you're watching live. How can it be that we are already at the end of August? Like, I truly just think, like, where did it go? It felt like it was just summer, and then it felt like it was the beginning of August, July, and now we're at the end. I don't know where you live, but here in Southwest, it has been cooler the last, well, not so much today, but like on the weekend, it was beautiful. It was like cool in the morning, cool in the evening. During the day, like I was able to actually open the windows and let the fresh air in. I hope you've had a great day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Whether you're watching live, let me know you're here. Say hi. I always love to chat with you. It's like you're sitting in my craft room and we're working together. Or maybe you're watching on the replay. So shout out to those replay warriors. I hope you had a fabulous day. It was a very busy day around here. I had to go into work for some meetings, and oh my gosh, my poor body is just like, what happened? You're like, it's exhausted. But all in all, I have a burst of energy because I knew that I got to craft with you guys tonight, and I'm so excited. So let's dive in. This week, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Stampin' with Anne community. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me. Each week, I pick a product of the week. So I usually pick a stamp set or a bundle, and I always pair it with designer series paper. And then I come to you and bring you 4 cards. Usually 4 cards. Usually I'll make a card with you on our video, and then I'll show you the other ones. So this week I decided to do the Festive Cheer Bundle. Let's change this around. And I'm going to admit to you, when I first, so this bundle was released in our July online exclusives, and I saw my demonstrator friends using this stamp set, and I kept seeing this greeting, Holly Jolly Greeting. I was like, where is that from? Then I saw them say Deck the Halls. I was like, where is this from? Well, it's from our July online exclusive release. So if you're familiar with Stampin' Up, we have catalogs that come out 3 times a year. But then Stampin' Up also releases things into our store called online exclusives. So just think about, you go to your favorite store, you want to buy a pair of pants, they don't have your size or your color, and they'll say to you, go shop our online store because we have more selection and more colors there. We can't carry everything in store. So kind of think of online exclusives like that. So then I was like, where is this stamp coming from? Then I realized it was the Festive Cheer in the online exclusives. I have to admit, I bought this stamp set for the greetings. I love the Holly Jolly, fa la la la, Deck the Halls, and Sending Cheer. I was like, okay, I need some Christmas greetings. I was doing Christmas in July, and I was like, these would be perfect. But then I was like, okay, well, if I purchase this stamp set, I really need to use it. So I dove into it this weekend, and oh my gosh, I had so much fun creating with these little ornaments. So tonight, I am going to show you 4 cards. We're going to create one, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping to show you kind of some tricks that I learned while I was using this set. Super cute. I have seen this done in your traditional colors, and I have seen it done in like pinks and blues. So a lot of different ways you can use this. So if you needed some more inspiration, definitely head on over to Pinterest and type in Festive Cheer Bundle, and you will see lots of things. So it is a photo palmer, 22 images, and then it has matching dies. There's 19, and when I go through, I'll show you some of those. So let's put that over here for a minute. I always like to pair it with a designer series paper. I am loving stitch season. I have used this quite a bit if you've been following me over the past few months in the summer. I love it because you have your quilted pieces, but you also have a tradition pattern. So you've got your hollies, you've got like these little dots, this plaid, peaceful pine. I could have a full pack of that. Candy canes, and obviously if you follow me, you know that this is one of my favorite patterns. I could have a full pack of that just alone. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to showcase, I thought, you know what, let's do the stitch season. Our new September to December catalog comes out actually next Tuesday. So I kind of wanted to like show you something that you could like see right now, and then we're going to dive into the September one. All right, so that's the paper. So let me show you, we'll do some, I'll show you the cards, and then we'll make a project, and then I have a little bit of housekeeping notes at the end. So let's dive in. So when I sat down to create this card, I'm gonna admit to you, it was Saturday afternoon, no, it was Sunday afternoon. I had a busy day Saturday. I had my festive party class, which was amazing. And I did some running around, and I was just like sat down Sunday afternoon. I was like, I have no creative mojo. Has that ever happened to you? Like, honestly, what do you do when you lose your creative mojo? So I sat in my chair on my desk, and I pulled out the Festive Cheer, and I just looked at it, and I looked at it, and nothing was coming to my mind. So I go search an online store and to see what Stampin Up concept artist did, and I still was like, yeah, it's not really working for me. So I head over to Pinterest, type it in, and I'm so glad I did because I found a card that I decided to case. So let's show you that one. So this is the first card that I cased, and this one is cased from Andrea Monk. She is her Facebook page is the Crafty Yogi. I've once again, sorry, it was that snowflake paper. I fell in love with it. So Peaceful Pine, basic white, the snowflake paper, real red and white. I loved the fa la 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 with the little like snowflakes and diamonds, and then deck the halls. And then I made some ornaments. So this was the first time I actually played with the ornaments. And I'm going to tell you, there was a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm going to give you that tip after we show you the cards. But a lot of fun. So 3 different ornaments. It had these cute little like, the ornament toppers where you would hook your hooks onto your Christmas tree. So super, super fun. So that was the first one. So deck the hall. So thank you, Andrea, for inspiration. Then I looked again and I found one cased by Erica Serwin from Pink Buckaroo. So shout out to my friend Erica. Thank you for the inspiration. I really liked the design, and I decided to switch it up and add a few different things to make it my own. So I used the holly paper and the ribbon, which is exactly what Erica did. Now, Erica put hers around, and I just chose to leave mine. But I used garden green for the branches, so I have 2 there. And then I was like, okay, let's do some stamping. So once again, I did the stamping on the 2 ornaments. I did Holly Jolly Greeting, and I brought in the in-color dots that I've shared with you before. As you can see, I've used the Peaceful Pine. The Peaceful Pine is a very beautiful color for the holiday season. I love how it pairs with Cherry Cobbler, Real Red, and obviously Secrecy. It's striking. So then I was like, oh, there's like these little bows. And then I was looking, and I was like, oh, like, on this card I hung string, and I was like, oh, like, I don't really want to put string on here. Like, what can I use? So I'm looking at the dies, and I'm like, what is this die right here? Like, what is that? So I pulled it out, and I was like, what is that? Like, and to come to realize that it was the little ornament strings. So you get 4, and I did mine in gold foil, and then you have your little bows, and then just to make that. So I was like, oh my gosh, that is brilliant. Whoever thought of that to make like a little die to cut out your foil. So I was excited with that. Then I had created this a long time, like a few weeks ago when I was creating for my festive party. I wasn't sure about it. I kind of was like, yeah, I'll just put it aside, but then I ended up doing something different. So basic white with a basic white layer. I used the Forever Plaid to emboss my paper. I love my embossing folders. I always say they're the best bang for your buck because they are not very expensive, but they add a lot of detail to your cards. Once again, brought in that holly, the deck the halls, and I did some stamping. Now on these ones, I just used the outline and then the solid. Because I didn't really play with the ornaments, so I was like, yeah, I'll just use that. And then I'm showcasing the new gold dots that will be part of a suite that will be released next Tuesday for September to December. So there is my 3rd card. So then when I was, I like when I'm watching TV, like I'll scroll through Pinterest or social media, and if I find a card that I like, I'll save it because when I sit down to create, I go back for inspiration. So I saw this card, and it was created by actually the layout was created by a crazy stamping lady. It was her Facebook page, and she made it into a fall card. So I decided, you know what? Let's make this into a Christmas card. So this is the card I'm going to share with you tonight. It's a little bit of a technique. She did some weaving. We're going to show you the busting puller. Now, I have to tell you, I have die cut everything. We're going to do a little bit of stamping with you. But I literally had enough gold to do the gold wording. So we're going to have to pick a different color for ours. And maybe we might leave it off. I haven't decided yet. But we'll figure that out. So let's move these off to the side and let's get started. So we tonight are doing, as I said, we're creating this card. Now I have die cutted some pieces just to make it easier for us. So I'm going to show you the pieces, then we're going to do some stamping. So I have Very Vanilla. So Very Vanilla is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And these measurements will all be on my blog on Friday, and I will upload this video. I have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to emboss that. I have a die, and I used my favorite Nestled Essential Dies. If you've been following me, you know that I'm a huge fan of anything stitched. I love that look. I used the second largest to create my die. Then I have 2 long pieces, one in pecan pie and one in cherry cobbler. Then I have 2 small pieces, one in peaceful pine and real red. I've gone ahead and cut out the branch, and then there is those gold ornament strings that I've done already. And I have 2 gold bows, and I've already gone ahead and did the stamping. The only thing we're going to do is cut out, we're going to emboss and cut out our branches. So I thought I would do that with you. So let me show you how I stamp, just to give you some reference. I'm just going to bring in a piece of basic white. Now, when I was stamping, there's, if you notice on the stamp set, there's 2 sets of images. So one is an outline and then one is a solid. You can do it either way. I found the easiest way was doing the outline and then the solid. So I'm going to pick, let's do this one here just to show you. So we're going to outline, and I found when I outlined it in, you can tell my stamp is well loved. That it's okay. If it stains your stamps, it still means it works. Let's stamp in. First thing is, when I was playing around with it, I stamped in like Peaceful Pine and then did Peaceful Pine. I didn't really like it. There wasn't much of a contrast. So we're going to use a Secret C. We're just going to tap, 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 and we're going to stamp down. Okay, now I'm just going to leave this here. Actually, I'm going to put it over here for a minute because I want to show you the difference. Now I'm going to bring in, let's do this in, so this is the leaf kind of image, and we're going to stamp that one in Peaceful Pine. So Peaceful Pine is one of our 2026, 2028 in colors, and you will notice that it is different than our current ink pads. This is our current ink pads, and this is our new In Colors ink pads. So there's 5 in colors that are now in our new magnetic ink pad. Oh, look at that. I was looking for one of that. Well, there is my little ornament stuck to the back of my ink pad. It is magnetic, so it connects together, which is super easy. If you're a person who struggles with opening these, you're going to love these. So right now you can only get them in the 5 in colors, but note that in 2027, they will be in all colors. So we're going to just tap, 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 ink that up. I'm going to close that so I don't stick my hand in it. And then you're going to see that this is kind of like a square, and then the top, it's kind of hard, but the top of the stamp is square. So we're just going to line those up. Now I have to move it a little bit closer to see. And you're just going to stamp down and press up. So you can see how that outline gives you a really good image of doing that. Now I'm going to stamp this again. I'm actually just going to stamp off so you can see a little lighter tone here for you. So there's, if I stamped it that way, I did stamp off just to give us a lighter tone. So let me just put that over there. Now, if I bring in the outline, I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. You can see that it will also line up. It's easy because you're going to use the center with the snowflake in the middle, and I just have to bring this a little closer for me so I can see, but then we'll line that up. So you can do it either way. I found just doing the outline first, then the solid was a little easier, and I'll just bring that up so you guys can see. So it's easy, pretty easy. All right, so let me put my ink pads, and let's put that over there for me to clean later. And I'm just gonna close this up, and let's create our card. So the first thing we're gonna do is do some embossing. So I'm gonna move the card out of our way, and we're going to bring in our big Stampin' Cut. So I call this the big boss because he's the one that does the big job of die cutting and embossing folders. So if you like our embossing folders, you're going to want to be able to use the bigger platform. I'm right-handed, so I like the handle to be closer to me. That's why I just flipped it. I am giving you a sneak peek at one of our new embossing folders. It's called Softly Woven, and it is beautiful. You will find this in our new, let me just bring this out of your way. You will find this in our new September to December catalog. It is stunning. If you've been around for a while, you would have known Stampin' Up! Had one called Subtle. This kind of reminds me of it in a bit of a way. All right, so let's get that very vanilla paper. And because I am doing my card landscape, I'm going to put my paper in landscape. So we're going to use the platform base, which is number 1. And we're just going to turn this around. So number 1, we're going to put in our embossing folder, and then we're going to use plate 4. And that is because the embossing folder we're using is a thicker 3D, so you need the gray plate to help it. We're just going to roll it through. And wow, oh my gosh, we're moving everything here. All right, so let's just move this out of my way. And I'm just gonna move this out of the way for a minute and bring that back in. So here is the embossing folder magic. I love that when you put it in, it's plain. And when you emboss it, you get this beautiful, like, little, isn't that beautiful? I can try to bring it up here closer for you guys to see. So there's the positive, and then there's the negative. So, so beautiful. Okay, so that's Softly Woven, which will be in our September to December catalog. All right, let's pull that over. Let's bring this in. So now, because we're doing die cutting, we need plate 1, plate 2. I'm just gonna find myself some peaceful pine here. So I have a drawer, oh, that's not peaceful pine, in my desk that has, oh, I might be able to get it out of here. Let me see, I might have to, where I keep my scraps, and I think I might need to cut a bigger piece. Yeah, okay, so let's get this one cut, and then I'll grab a bigger piece. All right, so there's that, and we're going to bring in our dies. So let's grab those dies, and we're going to bring in the branch. Okay, so let's get that. And we might be able to get, if I do this right, we might be able to get 2 pieces out of here. Might be close. No, I don't think we will, so we'll just do 1, and I'll go cut another piece while we're done. All right, so we're gonna roll this through. Okay, and then let's move this out of the way. I'll close that so I don't lose anything in there. And then I'm going to bring in my favorite tool in my craft room, which is the Take a Pick tool. I love it that you could use the pokey end, I'm gonna call it the pokey doodle, to push out your pieces here. So there is one of our tree branches. So let me just go grab, I don't have enough of that green. I don't think I have any more. All right, sorry about that. I thought I had some cut up in my drawer, but I guess I don't. All right, so let's bring back in that die cutting machine again. Let's line up, and then we'll put our die down. And we'll cut another one, and then I'll straighten this all up and make it look great. Oh, I guess I'll probably leave it out if we're going to use the stamps. No what? Okay. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. All right, let's just put this over here, and I'm going to throw this down in here. And then let's do this. Let's pop this out. I don't know about you, but if you are a crafter who loves to create holiday cards, I find it much easier to create your holiday cards not when it's the rush of the holiday season. I like to have my cards done and ready to be mailed out by November. It's just one less stress that you don't have to worry about. All right, so we have that. So let's kind of work on putting our card together, and then we will decide on the greeting. Okay, so there's our very vanilla piece. Let me grab my adhesive, and I think we might, hopefully don't run out. All right, we're gonna bring in our, let me bring the card up here so I'll show you what we're doing. So we're gonna bring down our pecan pie and our cherry cobbler piece. Now, the key is, it is a little shorter, and that's okay. We kind of want that just to, doesn't go right to the end. We're gonna only put adhesive on this side because we wanna leave these flaps up so that we can do a little bit of weaving. So let's just go ahead and adhere down the pecan pie. Makes me wanna go have a piece of pie. And then we're gonna do the cherry cobbler. I love cherry pie. Cherry pie, blueberry, apple crumble, like they're all my favorite. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're going to start with paper down, and then we're gonna kind of just weave it. So like down, up, like that. So that could be one way, and then this one would go the other way. So you're just like kind of like weaving it like you're weaving a basket. So let's go ahead and put our tape down. And then what we're gonna do is we're just going to kind of go in, down, and then just put that like that. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same with this, is that we're going to actually go this way and go above the tape. And then we'll just stick that down, and we'll stick that down, and then you literally can go in and add the adhesive you need for that. I think I just need a little bit more on there. Okay, so there is the weaving technique, which I think is a really cool way to, like as a focal point on your card. The card that I saw online, she actually made it into like a fall card and had did different fall colors. So now we can go ahead and adhere this down to our card base. So let's just go ahead and adhere that. Just give myself some enough just because it is the embossed. All right, and then we're just going to adhere that down. Okay, so let's just put that over there. And now we're gonna bring in our, we'll stick it here for a minute. We're gonna bring in our elements. So what I did was, and I'm gonna grab my little Tombow glue here. So we have this little branch, and what I decided to do was like, kind of like the, you know, you would see the wood on the tree, like the branches on the tree. We're just gonna add a little bit, and we're just gonna adhere that down. Okay. Now we're going to bring in those branches, and we're just going to put a little daub, like I'm literally just daubing the glue because you don't want too much glue on it. And we're going to just adhere that down. Now I wanted some of that pecan pie branch to show through, because if you were to look at a tree in person, you would see a bit of the bark through the branches. So we're going to do that. And then we're gonna come in and overlap our next one here. And what I did was I kind of wanted it to be a little bit, but not so much. So just gonna tap that down. Now, for our ornaments, I've already went ahead and stamped those. So this one is the Secret Sea outline with the peaceful pine in the middle. And then this one was Secret Sea outline with real red. And what I found was that if you put a little bit of tape on your ornaments as they stick to your hand, see, just like that, then you're going to take that gold that we did and you're just going to put it down. Now, you can make these as long as you want, but because I wanted them to be a little shorter, we're just going to trim that. And then if you get a bit of a dimensional, that will help hold it in place. So just like that. So now when you're going to put this on your project, you can easily just tuck it under the branches and pop it up. So there's one. Now let's go ahead and do the same, and we're just going to use the other half of what we use because there's no sense wasting it. Always, you still have, and then I still have another one that I can do. So we'll put that down, and let's grab in a dimensional, pop that. Now you could have them that they are staggered, so one is higher, one is lower. I'm going to kind of put, let's see here. Can I put this one? Maybe actually I think I'm going to go, I'm not sure if I can get that through. Oh yeah, right there. Maybe move it over a bit. Let's just see here. I think I put, oh yeah, I can maybe, oh, my hand is sticking to the dimensional. And it's okay. Let's just put that over there a bit. It's also good for using things. So there's like, you could have them overlapping each other like that if you wanted. Then I have the little bow. So let's just put a little, I don't want too much glue. There's one. There's one. So let's go ahead and put our bow there. And then we'll make sure our bow is straight. And then we'll put another bow here. Just like they're really close on a tree. All right, so there is our ornaments. So let's bring that back in and we're just going to pop that up. So here are my dimensionals. I have used the inside little shapes, and now what we're gonna do is we don't wanna waste this. This is a lot of great adhesive still. So what I do is I just cut it into pieces that I need. They could be big, they could be short, but it's a great way to be frugal and not waste your dimensionals. All right, so let's pull this part here. Oh my gosh, everything is sticking to me today. I'll put that there. And we're gonna bring this just kind of here. Now, as I said to you, I don't have any more gold. I ran out of the gold paper. I've been using it a bit. So we're gonna do the word Noel. And let's see, what color do I want to use? Maybe red. Let's do red. Let's do real red. We'll see what that looks like. So I'm just going to pull these over to the side, and I'm going to grab us a piece of real red cardstock. And let's see, I don't think I need a big piece. That will be perfect. And let's bring in our big Stampin' Cut. Okay, and then we're just going to put this down. We'll see what it looks like, as I said to you. And then we're going to get the word die. Okay, so here's the neat thing about Noel. It's one die, but it will cut out all of your words. All right, so there's the N and the O. So let's move those out of our way. And I'm going to put this over here. And then we got N and we got O. And we got our L. And then we're going to use our pokey doodle and poke out the E. Oh, it didn't come up. There we go. A little bit more. Okay, let me put that die down so we don't lose that. All right. Where is our card? Let's bring in our card and see what this looks like. So N, oh, it actually looks pretty cute. Well, let's do this. O, E elm. So let's go ahead and we're just going to dab a little bit of the glue. You don't really want it to be too much, but I feel like I might be, oh, there we go. So I feel like I was gonna be clogged. Okay, so let's bring this in. Let's do N. Okay, and then O. And then I kind of have to do a little dot down here. Okay, O. Just give that a minute. Our E. This bundle would be great if, well, obviously for card making, but if you're also a scrapbooker, this would be a great one for scrapbooking. You could totally use like the Noel. You could create tags with it. You could create like gifts for your tables for Christmas. There's lots you could do with this set. Okay, so we're just gonna let that sit there for a minute and dry. And then we're going to grab our green dots. So these, I'm going to use our take a pick tool, and we're just going to pick up, and we'll maybe we'll put one here, and we'll do one there, and we'll do one there. All right, so let me just throw everything off to my side here and bring in our card to show you what we created tonight. So there is one card sketch, but done two different ways. I would love to know. I think my OE is a little, Noel is, but do you like the Noel? Do you like the card with the gold foil Noel, or do you like the card with the red Noel? I think they're super cute either way. They're just definitely this off, so like that pulls in the bows and the little ornament hangers. So, all right, so let's recap and show you what we did. So we made that one together. I shared this one, and this one. So 4 different ways of using the Festive Cheer Bundle. I do have a few little housekeeping notes just to remind you of. So this bundle is part of our online exclusives, which means you won't find it in a catalog. You would just have to go to the online store, type in Festive Cheer Bundle, and it'll pop up. It's a great one. I think, as I said to you at the beginning of the video, I truly bought it just for the greetings, but after playing with the ornaments, I actually had a lot of fun with this one. This one was nice. I wanted to remind you of a few things that are still happening in the month of August. So our designer series paper sale, which is 15% off select DSP and cardstock, is good till the 31st, which is Monday? No, Monday? Monday, I believe, is the 31st. And now is a great time to check your cardstock. You know, we're coming into those burr months where it's going to start to get cooler. You're maybe spending more time in your craft room. Now is a great time to go, like I would be like, okay, what colors will I use in the fall? Check to see if I have a good stock of those. What colors will I use for my holiday projects? Now is a great way to do that also. So that is on till the 31st. Also wanted to remind you that our product of the month, so here I'm in Canada. So when you place an order in $100 in a single order before shipping and taxes, and any rewards that you take off, you can unlock our product of the month for $7. Our August product of the month, which I still believe is available when I checked earlier, is the Glow of Harvest. This paper is gorgeous. It is stunning. It is a shimmery. It is really, really nice. This has been shown by a lot of demonstrators. So if you haven't thought, oh, I like that, but I'm not sure, definitely check it out. It's a great one. So you can unlock it with a $100 order here. I also wanted to remind you that our Last Chance catalog products were updated at the beginning of August. So this is a great way where Stampin' Up! Is like, these items are in the last chance list, which means once they are sold out, they're gone, they retire. So this is a great way to check for deals. Maybe there's a product that you missed out on. This is a great way to do that. with the last chance list, which means I can't even believe it, our May to August catalog is almost done. This catalog is done on August 31st, which some of the items are in the last chance list, but great news, a lot of the items are carrying over, which means to me they'll be put in our online store. There's a lot of product in here that I haven't even used yet. So I'm super glad that they are carrying over. But I know if you're a person who loves the fall and holiday crafting, you're going to love our new September to December catalog. This catalog is beautiful. As per Stampin' Up policy, I cannot show you the inside, but not to worry, we're going to dive into it next week. We're actually showcasing one of the suites. I'm showcasing one of my favorite suites from this starting next week. So you're going to want to make sure you join me Wednesday night for our crafty session where I'll show you the suite. We'll do a little bit of a dive in the catalog. I am so excited. I am loving this. If you were a current customer and you requested a catalog, guess what? Your catalogs are in the mail. They're on your way. If you need a catalog, please let me know and I will pop one here. If you live in Canada and you're not working with a demonstrator, I'd be happy to help you. I will pop one in the mail for you. All right, so that is all the housekeeping notes I had. So just a reminder, tonight we did the festive cheer. This video will upload in the next 24 hours. I will share this video with you on my blog on Friday along with the measurements for this card so you could recreate it. Watch the video. It's like I'm in your craft room working along with you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, evening, wherever time zone you are in. And set your alarm for 7 p.m. Eastern Time next week. I will be back showcasing one of my favorite suites from the new September to December catalog. Have a fabulous week, everyone, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everyone.